So this is what I seem to like about God. He's not pressuring me to choose like logic in my head versus how I'm feeling in my heart. Right? Like I feel like we're taught how to feel from a logical place. A lot of us are. Like you should feel this and you shouldn't feel that. And I know we've gotten better at expressing our emotions and having an open space for our emotions. But when it comes to like faith in God, like there's this thing in the church that at least I have been taught, which is basically like lift yourself up, declare over yourself who he is when you were feeling down instead of feeling down, because this is who he is. And so have the truth speak to your emotions, right? And I don't think that we need him like that. And in fact, there seems to be something that he is doing with me where there is this accumulation, this great accumulation of feeling let down by God, where I feel, and I can't help but feel like there's this space to feel let down by God. And what he seems to tell me in these times, where I'm like wrestling with him and I'm wrestling with myself, and it's just like this, like God, like I don't even believe my own feelings. Like I'm annoyed by these feelings. These feelings seem to be in the way because you are faithful. You have been faithful for me. Today may suck ass, but you come with, mercy in the morning. That actually, it is a new day. And I've experienced this so much with you. But he doesn't seem to pressure me into choosing that in the moment where I'm feeling let down by him. But what he chooses to say in those times is, it will be worth it to you. It will be worth it to you. And I think that what he is getting at is what will make it worth it to you is that you felt that there was a space to feel let down by God. Because I think that if every time we felt uncomfortable feelings let down by God, right, crushed in our spirits, that we had some kind of antidote for that, I don't think him actually coming through for you would be all that great. It just would be kind of surface level. Because you always had your logical grown-up brain telling your childlike heart, hey, I know you're feeling this, but like, he really is going to come through because God is this and his word is this and it's all of this, right? Or you call someone and they have to cheer you up or something. But there seems to be something that God is doing with me where my head is hung low. There's this accumulation, these days where it is just down. I had one of these days yesterday. My head was down the entire day. Everything felt like death to me. I had nothing to say to God, although I did say a lot to God. There was a lot that came out of me, and there was no logical thing in my brain that was able to comfort my heart. And God didn't say, you need to choose what you know about me in your brain versus what you were feeling in your heart. But he seemed to have been like, it's going to be worth it to you because of the accumulation, right? The culmination of all the days that you have felt left out, all the days that you have felt like I have forsaken you. I have tried to escape this feeling, but by his grace, he has not allowed me to get past that. And yesterday I was just like, man, I feel let down by you, God. I feel so let down by you. And I have felt let down by you for a very long time. And I know that in the church we have this like self-soothing, self-parenting way where our head, what we know logically about him or what we have read about him that we have not come to know, that hasn't been a production of something, we're trying to influence our heart and say, do not feel this way. But he doesn't seem to come at me like that. And I am glad. I'm glad that I don't have to minister to my own heart. I'm glad that I don't have to be the one to lift my head up with what he says about me. And then I'm not shamed in my weakness. I'm not shamed in this weak place in me where my head is hung low and I'm like, I don't have anything to say. I don't want it that way. I don't want a life managed by me being the, feeling like I have to be the adult parent, getting the kid to behave. Saying, no, you can feel what you're feeling. But like, it's almost like this manipulative thing where it's just like, but like there's this means to an end. I have to keep holding on. Like, I got through yesterday because I held on. I didn't I didn't let this all out or whatever. And I think that we can even think that emotional intelligence is like this. It's more disciplined emotions. No, I have felt extremely unstable in my emotions. But I feel like what emotional intelligence is being produced from this place is I'm more free in my being to express where I am and how I feel. And doing this in the light of his presence, it's changing how I see myself in that. And the places that I was told to hold things in, I'm letting them out. And I find that when I let them out the next day, they're not quite there. There seems to be this grace on days where I cannot lift my own head up. And he is not expecting me to. He's not expecting me to feel good in the moment, but he draws me back to his promise that says, I know the accumulation of all the days that you have felt left down by me. And I'm letting you feel this fully. I am letting you feel this. I'm letting you feel let down by me. But this is what's going to make it so worth it to you, because you're going to remember those days. You're going to remember what you were thinking, your headspace, and how you didn't even have the strength for your head to then influence your heart. And so you just kind of felt like the gum, like on the sidewalk that keeps getting walked over and smashed more into the pavement, right? And I'm like, God, it's going to be different with me, because I'm not going to be one of those self-management people. And in that, I feel extremely unstable, because I don't know what one day is going to bring. And it feels like the smallest thing sets me off into a spiral of what feels like depression or something. But I've gone into the darkness and I've found him. I have let go and I've sunk deep into the ocean and I've felt like I could drown. But then the day ends and I find that his faithfulness brings me back to the surface. And this knowing that is being produced, that his faithfulness is bringing me back to the surface, but he doesn't shame me by not me trying to lift my head. He doesn't try to get me to do anything. Instead, embraces me. Embraces me. I'm like, this has to be what life is about. This has to be how life is with him. Like, if he is with you fully in the suffering, how much more will the celebration be for you? This to me is what I believe the accumulation of how much you feel let down by him and crushed in your current season is actually going to be the sorrow that then gets transferred into being the joy. That we don't have to try to put on joy when we're feeling sorrow. We don't have to try to put on a happy face or have our head influence our heart. I won't be doing this, and we will see where that gets me. But there is no life for me where my head is trying to influence my heart. I will let him produce what he produces. But yesterday felt like one of those days for sure. I mean, I feel these days. I never know when they're coming. It's like every day is like that, but some are especially heavy. And the time is just like creaking on by. And I'm literally just, it feels like you're like a fish out of water, right? And you're just drying out slowly. And I'm like, God, I feel like you have left me. And I feel this so fully. And he's like not trying to get me to be like, but I am faithful. Remember how I showed up here? No, not my God. I am with you here, but this is what's going to make it worth it. The accumulation of sorrow is only going to make the accumulation of joy that much better. The empty well that I will fill with joy. This is my expectation anyway, because I have a great accumulation, a resume, a feeling left down by God.